Whatever you put out into this world will always come back tenfold. Now let that manifest in your mind, your body, and your spirit. You gotta fully understand that. You gotta fully overstand that. That's vital. We always talking about how we want to step on this and how we want to do that. But y'all don't understand that if you live by the sword, that's how you gonna go out. There's laws to this universe. And I'm not talking about just the law of attraction. I'm talking about the borders and guidelines that the Most High God created this world with. So whenever you out here talking about you gonna step on something, you gonna do this and that to another person, just be prepared for that to come back. It'll make a full circle. I know you was told when you was younger, what goes around and comes right back to you. That was vital information that most of y'all didn't receive properly. But with that being said, kick that intro for me one time. Believe What's happening, La Familia? What the business is, fam bam. What y'all got going today? How y'all doing? Peace and blessings and all that good stuff there. But we coming to y'all with a crazy story. And if you haven't heard by now, you probably living under a rock, even though this story kind of went under the radar. Now it's about Mr. Sniper Gang, Big Z, Zombie on Earth, Kodak Black, or in the words of my boy C-Mac, Kodak mother effing Clack. Now, Kodak Clack had a situation going on at Justin Bieber's house. Crazy, right? Justin Bieber, what is he doing with Justin Bieber? But it was a situation where 3 men got hit up. Now we gonna read that and I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts on it. Rapper Kodak Black and 3 others shot in West Hollywood. The 24-year-old Florida rapper was transported to a hospital while 3 others were shot but treated on scene. And in quotes, and I quote, in quote, Kodak Black, whose legal name is Bill Capri, Bill, my boy, man. Then it says, was among 3 people shot earlier Saturday outside a restaurant in West Hollywood, California. 4 law enforcement sources familiar with the investigation told NBC News the 24-year-old Florida rapper and 3 others were shot. 2 were taken by ambulance and 2 were self-transported to a hospital. The Los Angeles Police Department said all are in stable condition. Now, that's a good thing to hear, that they all good. And there was no fatalities or anything like that. But then the story goes on to say it is not immediately clear what sparked the fight outside the club in the 400 block of North La Ciega Boulevard. I ain't know how to pronounce that. Just bear with me, family. And then it goes on to say, but an LAPD spokeswoman said the victims were shot when they emerged from the club during the fight. The investigation into the shooting is ongoing. The LAPD said in a press release Saturday they are searching for a black male suspect. Of course, it was a black male suspect. They're always searching for a black male suspect. According to these people, black males do all the shootings. Nobody else do them. It's crazy, right? But he was a black male suspect who fled south from the location. KNBC anchor / reporter Robert Kovacic reported that the scuffle occurred outside a Nice Guy, an Italian restaurant. Nice Guy owner John Terzian. Where's these names coming from, man? Like, these names is crazy. Confirmed to NBC News that Justin Bieber was hosting an after party inside the restaurant on the night of the shooting. Wow. Y'all remember that, family? Justin Bieber was hosting this whole party when the situation happened. According to the footage of the shooting obtained by TMZ. Of course, it had to be TMZ because TMZ is the only one who ever gets exclusive footage like this, especially on celebrities. But Kodak Black was leaving a restaurant with an entourage that included friend and rapper Gunna. Of course, Gunna was there. Y'all remember that as well. In the footage, they paused to pose for photos with fans, surrounded by over a dozen paparazzi. A confused fist fight amongst a group of men standing around a red Ferrari. So out of nowhere, a fight just breaks out that has nothing to do with these men, and it just so happens to happen right when they're leaving. That sounds a little bit suspicious to me, don't it? But then it goes on to state, in the street, it spills back onto the sidewalk and is then interrupted by 10 gunshots that send the crowd running for their lives. Capri, or Capri, however you pronounce it, was originally born in Doosan Octave, and the AP report had, by age 21, amassed an extensive rap sheet. Capri, or Capri once again, was sentenced to prison in 2019 for weapons and possession, was pardoned in 2021 by former President Donald J. Trump. Representatives for Capri, or Capri, did not immediately respond to calls from NBC News. Now, what does that have to do with anything? That last part. What does talking about his rap sheet have to do with anything? That has nothing to do with anything. And it's sad that every time they speak on a black man in any part of the news, if you have a rap sheet, black men, beware. And black women as well. Beware. Mexicans as well. If you're Hispanic, beware of this. If you have a rap sheet, they will try to slaughter you in the media if anything happens to you. Now, 9 times out of 10, you won't be hit up and be on NBC News. You know what I'm saying? But if you do pass away, you will happen to make your local news. Now, when you do make that news, they will try to go back into your rap sheet and say that you were a 2-3 one-time felon. You got caught for shoplifting, whatever your felony was for. They're going to try to blast and bolster that to make you look discreditable, and also, try to lessen the reason why detectives should really investigate your case. Fortunately enough for Yak, though, he didn't lose his life in this situation, so they didn't really get to slander him as much as they wanted to. Of course they will, though. Now, y'all got to pay attention to all of this stuff. Now, the Justin Bieber party was a setup. First of all, Justin Bieber and Kodak Black wouldn't be together on no planet. Yeah, of course, they're in the same industry, so they know each other. They ran into each other a lot of times, performed at the same concerts, venues, and all that different stuff. But as far as hanging out outside of, making money together, I don't see that actually happening. I don't see Justin Bieber calling up Yak and Yak actually responding, and Justin Bieber saying like, "Hey bro, come out to my party," and Yak like, "Oh yeah, I'm there. I'm finna, I'm gonna wiggle through there," because he's a huge star as well. Not as big as Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber's a mega star, but he's a huge star as well, so he can make his own thing happen. He don't need to go to this man's stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I do see him rocking with Gunna, and Gunna's the setup. Gunna, in my opinion, was the one who called, and now this is all alleged, all entertainment, but I feel like Gunna called Yak like, "Hey Yak, come out to this party, man. I'm finna go to Justin Bieber party. It's finna be lit. Come step out." Gunna was the one that pulled him in. Gunna was the bait. You know what I'm saying? And they got him to come to Justin Bieber party, which was a setup already. When he got there, they had planned it to where, him and Gunna went outside for some reason. They was finna leave. They chopped it up. They stopped to talk to fans. You know what I'm saying? That was the setup. I'm sure Gunna probably stopped first, like, "Yeah, man, let's go ahead and chop it up with these fans, sign autographs or whatever." Paparazzi came up. That was planned already there as well. But of course, paparazzi will be there for Justin Bieber. But the setup was to have the paparazzi already ready. Then, a fight breaks out right in the middle of that, just out of nowhere. They had to point out the red Ferrari. That was the signal of, a job well done. And they try to send Yak a message because Yak's mouth is too big. Yak talks too much, explains too much, and they want to take Yak out. And we got to look at the past and history to get a better example of what we mean by that, because it's been a multitude of artists who have been warned and then eventually got their life taken. Now we can look at the most recent one in Young Dolph. Young Dolph got hit up in California as well. Was it California? Yeah, I believe it was, but that was the 100 Shots song. And he basically clowned him, rubbed it in their face that they didn't take his life. But we seen that multiple times throughout multiple artists. How many different artists do we know that got hit up in California? We know Pop Smoke got hit up in California. He lost his life though. Biggie is another one that we know lost his life in California that came from another state. And we can name these rappers on and on and on. We can go all day. But the point to say that is they love to do it in California because California already has groups of people that are labeled against the state. And if you don't know what I mean by against the state, go ahead and Google when you're against the state and see what you come up with. Can't say it on here, YouTube be tripping. But man, Bloods, Crips, Hoovers, they are already deemed as the people to blame for these shootings and situations. So they can easily get away with this stuff, man. Whoever they want to take out, they can get away with it in California easily. Just blame it on an extortion situation. Just blame it on a situation that they were trying to extort him, or it was a gang violence situation. Yeah, these two gangs was tripping and he got caught in a crosshair. Yeah, man. Draco the Ruler, Nipsey Hussle. Do that situation. Blame it on that. The world will believe it. It's easy. They won't even second guess it. It'll be a small group of people that'll look into it and say, man, something don't seem right here. But majority of the world would just run with whatever we put out in the press. And since it's out there, those people will be blamed. They know how gruesome California is anyway. The California streets is harsh. They heartless out there, cold-hearted. Take your life for a nickel. That type of time. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see the mentality? This is the warning for Kodak. It's the warning to close your mouth right now, or we can take you out whenever we want to. And anybody you think is your partner is really gonna rock with us, because they know we'll take them out as well. And if you know, then you know. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Another thing that they can blame it on is the fact that he didn't check in before he came. This man was just coming for a party, and they trying to make it seem like he didn't check in. That is like literally the most ignorant thing, checking in. That is the most ignorant thing I've ever seen, came across, or heard come out of somebody's mouth. How are you gonna tell somebody they gotta check in to a city that you do not own? A city that constantly locks you up, a city that takes you away from your people, a city that takes your people's life. You can't come to a block because, hey man, this our block and we deem this our block. Come on, man, y'all gotta grow up, man. That's immature mentality. That's why they gonna keep on using y'all and utilizing, everybody as the fall man. And like I said, man, I was locked into that mentality as well for a while, man, but I had to grow up and grow out of that. I was locked into that, I'ma step on this, step on that mentality, and I'm gonna tell y'all now, man, nowadays, man, I'm not stepping on nobody. I'm not moving like that, man, because I don't want to do that time. It's not that I'm afraid to do the time or anything like that, man, because if I had to and my back was against the wall, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it, keep my mouth cold, stay stitched lip, and do what I gotta do. But I don't want to do that time, man. So that's why I stay away from that. That's why I ain't out here screaming I'm gonna step on nobody or trying to step on nobody or trying to move like that. And that's what happens when you mature. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to cause nobody no harm because you don't want to have to go and do some consequences that you don't want to deal with. You know what I'm saying? It's way too much money out here, way too much to be doing out here to be worried about, looking over your shoulder, as well as, going to have to do these people's time. I'm not doing it. You can do it. It's all on you. If you feel like that's what you want to do with your life, you better be ready for the consequences that come behind that. A lot of you dudes ain't ready for that, and that's where it's a lot of ratting out here. That's why it's a lot of people on paperwork out here. Y'all think y'all ready for it, but when y'all faced with that adversity, when y'all faced with that time in your face, when them people sitting in your face and they talking about them football and basketball numbers, now you ready to crack. Y'all better get it together, man. Real talk, man. I just don't understand the mentality. But this is a warning for Kodak. to close his mouth. And if he don't close his mouth, you're going to see the same situation happen to him that happened to young Dolph. These people ain't playing with him and they want his head. Now, you're going to see Kodak starting to move different. He ain't going to know who he can trust. Once you see him officially be released from the hospital and he get back into the thick of things, you're going to really see him separating himself from a lot of artists. We have been seeing Kodak doing a lot of YB reaching. He been trying to get out to young boy. Even talked about how him and Quando got to catch the fade for, Quando burning, the sniper gang gear or whatever, and that they can be bros right after. But you see him doing a lot of reaching out to young boy and trying to really attach himself to young boy and garner more attention as well. But I don't see him actually doing that anymore when he gets out. I see Kodak actually reviewing all of the people that he's affiliated with and closing his circle off a lot more. You might not even see him messing with certain sniper gang members just because he ain't gonna know who he can trust. At the end of the day, these people got endless resources. They can pay whomever they want to. They can turn anybody into an op. They can turn, if that person is not, let me say this, if that person is not strong enough to where money does not rule them and money is not their God, but most of these people in this industry, that is their God. Money is their God, so they all can be controlled. When money is your God, you can be puppeteered. You can be puppeteered into doing things that you wouldn't normally do, if you were a part of the Most High God and you valued the Most High God as much as you should. But when money is your God, you can be puppeteered into any way. So in that case, you got to watch your brothers, your mothers, your sisters. Anybody can get a drop. If these people come to your mama right now, if your mama money is her God, they can tell her, like, look, we'll give you a couple $1 million to give us a location and set up your son. And they gonna do it. She gonna do it. She gonna go for it. That's why it's important to be right with the Most High God. And that's why I said in the beginning as well, man, it's the law of the way that the universal God, the Most High God, Yah, created the world, that what goes around comes around and nothing is new under the sun. So whenever you put things out there into the universe, it's power in words, man. Your words speak volumes and frequencies, man. So when you speak stuff out there into the world, talking about being a sniper gang, a zombie on earth and all these things, that's going to come right back around to you. Whatever you dish and you issue out to a man, that's going to come on you 7 times over. So you got to understand, man, if you out here talking about how you going to do somebody so gruesomely, expect that to be done back to you, man. Do to others as you expect to be done to you. And that's just what it is, man. That's just the way this thing goes. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts on all this down in the comments section. And keep Kodak Black in your prayers, man, that the man heals or whatever, and that this is an opportunity for him to change his life, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Peace and blessings, kings and queens. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ring that bell icon and show your boy that love, man. Y'all should have already wiped your feet as you came in the door, my bad, family. And with that being said, I'm out. Later.